Welcome to our podcast session on mastering new words and boosting English skills. This style where you, really get to practice your language skills while enjoying an engaging conversation.
Absolutely, it's like a lively classroom in your ears. We're diving into a YouTube podcast that's all about improving English through conversation, right?
Exactly. So, this channel, Speak English Smartly, has become a hotspot. 574K subscribers, millions of views, and, it's like a treasure trove of practical fun
Yeah,
lessons. It really emphasizes mastering new words and boosting overall fluency.
right. And one of the things that struck me was how each episode is designed to cater to everyone, from beginners to those aiming to refine their advanced skills.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. They've got episodes ranging from vocabulary introductions to structured podcast conversations that kind of let you listen and improve simultaneously. I mean, it's like they're handing you a toolkit for mastering
Yeah,
English.
indeed. And it's not just about vocabulary, right? There's an overall focus on improving grammar and conversational flow. It's kind of a full circle approach to learning English.
Right, yeah. Think about it. They've covered topics such as daily conversation, specific subjects like ordering food, or even deeper themes like discussing current events. It's like they cover the spectrum of real-life English usage.
True. And I also noticed that they include engaging elements, like interviews or sample dialogues with interesting personalities. Even Mark Zuckerberg made an appearance in one episode.
Yes, exactly. And that's a clever hook, mixing popular figures into the learning mix. It shows that English isn't just about textbooks. It's about real people, real conversations.
But don't you think sometimes that mix of casual interview vibes with education might make it hard for total beginners? It almost feels like you need a bit of foundational knowledge.
That's a valid point. I mean, it might seem overwhelming at first, but they also offer clear, structured episodes specifically designed for beginners. It's like they provide multiple entry points into
Yeah,
learning.
exactly. I appreciate that versatility. And speaking of structure, the layout itself is super accessible. The titles, descriptions, and even the transcripts are there to help guide you through the lesson.
Right. The transcripts are a huge bonus. They allow learners to follow along, ensuring they're not missing a beat. It's a really interactive way to enhance listening and reading skills simultaneously.
Uh-huh. And then there's the fact that the channel encourages active participation. They're like, go ahead, listen carefully, and try to mimic the conversation. It's a gentle nudge to practice speaking out loud, which is, a vital aspect of language acquisition.
Exactly. And it's almost like they're inviting you to join a community of learners, where each episode builds on the previous one. It gets you excited about continuous improvement.
Definitely. I love when they break down new words contextually. They don't just give you definitions, they use them in conversation, in everyday examples, making the learning stick.
Yeah, it's like you're learning not just vocabulary, but the art of using that vocabulary naturally. And they often include those subtle humor bits, which, yeah, make it more memorable.
Absolutely. However, I have a little critique. Sometimes the pacing might be a bit fast for someone just starting out. Don't you think they could slow down or add more pauses for clarity?
You know what? I can see that perspective. It might be challenging for total newcomers, but then again, it's also an opportunity to, push you just a tad outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, fair point. True, stepping outside your comfort zone is essential for growth. It sort of forces you to think and structure sentences in real time.
Exactly. And the podcast really uses a mix of natural conversation and scripted elements to make that happen. The natural conversation parts are like very organic, while the scripted bits ensure that no important point gets lost.
That balance is key. And what's also interesting is how these episodes build vocabulary by stress context. Instead of rote memorization, you remember how words are used, kind of like linking them to real situational dialogues.
Right. It's like creating a mental movie of real interactions. And honestly, that technique would really stick better. It's like you're learning the language, not just the
Exactly.
words.
Plus, the podcast sometimes introduces episodes for various proficiency levels. That way, if you're a beginner, you can focus on simpler dialogues, and if you're advanced, you can work on idiomatic expressions and nuances.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a real strength here. It invites learners to progressively challenge themselves and gradually build their skills.
Right. Another cool thing is how they integrate cultural aspects along with language lessons. It's not just words, it's about understanding how language fits into broader social contexts.
Absolutely. When you understand culture behind the language, it enriches your learning experience. It's like adding flavor to a dish. You need that spice to really enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is crucial for, say, interview preparation or casual conversations. It gives you insights and a wider perspective on language usage.
Definitely. I mean, if you're preparing for real life situations, job interviews, traveling, these podcasts equip you with not only vocabulary, but also the timing, intonation, and situational context of everyday English.
Very practical. It sure does. And by using natural conversation as a medium, you're constantly exposed to the rhythm of the language. That's something very hard to get from textbooks alone.
Right, the spontaneity is key. And as you listen more, you start to mimic those patterns naturally in your own speech, which is what fluent conversation is all about.
Exactly, I agree. Well, I think we've covered the main points. A robust mix of vocabulary building, real conversation practice, integrated cultural context, all packaged in an engaging podcast format that's both accessible and challenging.
Yes, that's a great summary. And for anyone serious about improving their English, whether you're a beginner or looking to perfect your fluency, this podcast model is a solid resource.
Absolutely. It really makes you think about how technology and media can transform language learning, right?
Exactly. And it's interesting because it's not just passive listening, it's interactive in nature, like they're creating an immersive learning environment.
Yeah. So, for our listeners out there, if you're eager to learn English in a fun, engaging, and practical way, try exploring these episodes. They'll not only expand your vocabulary, but also boost your confidence speaking English.
Absolutely. And remember, language learning is a journey, a journey of constant practice. The more you expose yourself to these real dynamic conversations, the more fluent you become.
True indeed. Thanks for this engaging discussion. I think we've given everyone plenty to consider about boosting their English through podcast learning.
Yes, indeed. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep growing. Until next time, happy learning.